morning. Just got dropped off by Maura here at Zealand Trailhead. So, today I'm going to be starting here at Zealand, taking the Zealand Trail to Zealand Falls Hut, switching to the Twinway here, stopping at Zeacliff, making my way down, tagging Zealand, tagging Guyot, setting up at the Guyot Campsite, tagging West Bond, staying the night here, and in the morning Bondcliff, and I am parked down here in Lincoln Woods. So a little dark this morning, so I won't be getting much trail footage, but as soon as the sun comes up, I'll show you a little bit of what we're doing. Now I'm about 1.25 miles into the trail, and as you can see, we got some daylight. I talk a lot about smells in these videos, different smells you get while you're hiking, different times of year, different elevations, but right now, here at the beginning, with all the leaf drop, get a real earthy smells, like rich fallen leaves, a little decomposition. Sounds gross, but it's actually a really nice, comforting smell. Beautiful. Some high clouds, but those are supposed to disappear. There's a beaver dam here by Zealand Pond. Just another look out here. Some beautiful foliage. Back on the trail. This trail up to the hut is very easy. I'm trying to see if I see any animals out here. It's starting to warm up already. I think it was 40s. And I woke up this morning. I'll tell you, when I got to Lincoln Woods at 4:30 to wait for my shuttle, I was surprised to see that there were only a couple of parking spots left. But goes to figure, big weekend for this area, foliage season, and all the leaf peepers are here. So everyone wants to get out and do a hike when the leaves are popping, so. Stepped off trail for a minute to capture these this nice look out here. All right, back to it. Next stop, Zealand Falls. All right, just getting the intersection of Zealand and the A to Z trail. So that way to the Willie Range, but I only got half a mile to the hut. So let's get there. More views. All right, another look out here. You can see the falls up on that, and right there is the hut. We're about a quarter of a mile away. And the colors are pretty. Beautiful. Oh, we are 0.2 from the hut. And I believe we're at the, yes, we are at the trail junction for Ethan Pond Campsite and the AT. So from here on out, this section here is the Appalachian Trail. Lower Zealand Falls. You know, very early in the climb up to Zealand Hut. It's a little spur. Going back to the falls. Get another look of it from a different perspective. Oh yeah, different section of it. Zealand Falls Hut. View from the deck of Zealand Falls Hut. Facilities here. I'm gonna get a little bit of water, and they're all in there having their breakfast. So all right, get some water and get back on the trail. All right, leaving the hut. The hut just got out of breakfast, so it's gonna be, trail's gonna be very busy up to Zeacliff and wherever else people are going. So some say that this next mile or so to Zeacliff is the hardest part of this traverse. I'd say it's probably the biggest elevation gain all at once, but we'll get it over and done with early. About a third of a mile into the climb to Zeacliff. Get a couple of little breaks, but most of it is just up. I'm huffing and puffing. All right, at the spur for Zeacliff, Twin Way. The AT will continue to the right. And here's our view of Zeacliff. I can say this is one of the best views on this hike, as well as one of the best views in all of the White Mountains. So you do work that mile from the hut up here, but if it's a clear day, I'd say the payoff is worth it. And if you're staying at the hut, it's a no-brainer. You got a very short hike to the hut. Drop all your heavy stuff, Take all day to come here. Maybe go to Zealand or Guyot and back to the hut. And that's no sweat. So let's take a look. Hey. View from Zeacliff over to the Hancocks, Carrigan Notch, White Wall, the Willie Range, and over here to the Presidentials. Best view in the Whites. One of them. Till the next view in the Whites. Getting ready to leave Zeacliff. Looking out towards the Presidentials and the Willie Range. Looking back, I think this south-facing view is the one, Hancocks and Carrigan Notch and the Nancy Range. Wow. Beautiful. All right, about halfway to camp, so let's keep on trucking. I think it's only a couple miles. I think it's maybe 2 miles to Zealand from here. And continuing on the Twinway between Zeacliff and Zealand Summit. The trail gets much easier after Zeacliff. I know there's a ladder up ahead and whatnot, but that's more fun than it is challenging. So there is a little bit of elevation here to go up, but it's not too bad. A little bit of rocks. A couple times, I think this is the second time. There was a ladder coming up. But we only got 200 more feet of elevation to go till we hit Zealand Summit, so we are not far at all. All right. The Soul Twinway ladder on the way to Zealand. Alright, at the junction for Zealand, gonna bang down here, just tag it, and go. Last time I was on this, it was quite muddy, but it's been so dry here, I'm not expecting that today. And here we are. Zealand Summit. There's the cairn and the sign. Zealand. All right. Wooded summit, nothing to see. Back to the trail. All right, still on the Twinway. We're between Zealand and Guyot. I don't think I'm terribly far. Maybe half mile from Guyot, I think. Very rocky section of the trail. Just taking it slow. Alright, Twin Way approaching Guyot. I think from what my watch is telling me, we're 1/10 of a mile to 1/4 of a mile. So, gotta be close. I can see the trees getting smaller. Alright, starting to get some views. We pop out of the Franconia Ridge up ahead is Bondcliff Trail. I'll be heading down that soon. Wow. And a breeze to boot. Walk up, we're going to be careful of all this alpine vegetation. Mount Guyot. .360-degree views from Mount Guyot. Franconia Ridge there. Owl's Head. The Bondcliff Trail. West Bond. Bond. Carrigan, and to be top of the presidentials, Washington there, and the Twins. Awesome. Alright, leaving Guyot. Beautiful colors in the Pemmy. We're coming up to our intersection, I believe, with Bondcliff Trail. And with that, I'll be leaving the AT. And that's my watch saying, take a left, son. Is it Bondcliff Trail. .8 to Mount Guyot. Soaking some of these views. Guyot Campsite .8. Let's do it. Back in the trees on Bondcliff Trail. Hoping there's still some spots left. I spoke with a hiker. She just checked in and is running up to South Twin. Well, I think I might make it in time. Alright, back out of tree line again. Beautiful weather. Gotta get over this and down a little bit. We'll be at the tent site. watching the big cairn. I think a lot of people think this is Guyot, although I'm pretty sure that is Guyot. In case we'll touch that cairn, huh? Alright, drop an elevation to get to the spur for the Guyot campsite. Nice looks at the bonds in front of me. And this breeze is just what the doctor ordered. Thank you for that breeze. And we'll be dropping in the trees. And then we will be heading down spur for Guyot campsite. There's our signs. And that's the way. Here's a tent on the platform at Guyot Campsite. And right down here is the cooking area. I chose proximity to the water and the filter and the bare boxes. So last time I had a tent site that was way far away, and I did not enjoy having to hike up and down every time I wanted to get one of my snacks or anything. So I'm gonna get these little chairs and table, bare boxes, and then over here is the spring here at Guyot. I've already topped up all my water. I've already filtered 4.5 liters of water to get ready for tomorrow. I know I'll drink some on the way to West Bond and tonight, so I'll probably just need to filter 1 liter tomorrow when I have my breakfast. View from the shelter here at Guyot tent site. Best view here, I believe. Alright, making the way up out of Guyot tent site. We're going to go hit West Bond. West Bond is really popular for sunset, so I'll decide whether I'm going to stay for sunset or not. I'm heading up there really early. So it's a small summit, beautiful views, but might be a little crazy up there at sunset. So I'd like to get up there, tag it, hang out for a minute or two, and then decide if I'm going to stay for sunset. But right now I'm leaning on coming back, having dinner, and getting some good rest. Approaching the junction for West Bond Spur. So, fun fact, we're in the wilderness, so the signs no longer give mileage. And continue that way for Bond, but we were not doing that today. Alright, let's hit the West Bond Spur. This mountain here kind of blew me away the last time I did it. I was not really expecting the awesome views that it was, and I don't know why. Everyone talked about the views from Bondcliff, but other than great sunset at West Bond, we don't really hear about it. But West Bond is definitely a hidden treasure here, and it has got one of the best views of Bondcliff there is. Continuing down West Bond Spur, sun's right in my face, probably in the camera, you probably can't see much, but just making my way. Approaching the summit of West Bond. Last time I was on this summit was July of 2024. Looked at Bondcliff from over there on Bond and knew I needed to save it another day because it was getting too late. But here we are again, West Bond. Back out the Twins towards Guyot. Guyot Campsite's down there. Mount Washington in the background. And, Northern Presidentials. It's Garfield. Franconia Ridge and Owl's Head. Bond. And Bondcliff. My goal for tomorrow. Beginning the descent here of West Bond. It's a little scrambly towards the top, but some really good views. Heading back to the Twins. Scramble down. And then after that it gets pretty chill. But whew. Such good views. And tomorrow it's supposed to be the same. Alright, let's make our way back. Sunrise from Guyot Campsite. Hopefully you can see these colors on the camera. It's beautiful. It's kind of ironic that some of the best views of the sunrise put next to the privy. But they know just about everybody's going to be coming to use this in the morning, so they get a nice view of the sunrise. Clear day coming up. Looking forward to it. Morning. Sunday, October 5th. Just finished the hike out of Guyot Campsite. I'm going to be making my way over to Bond. 0.7 miles. All right, entering the Pemigewasset Wilderness. Passed through here yesterday doing West Bond, but I had a quick turnaround after that to go back to camp. But we're gonna go up Bond, over Bondcliff, tag my 48th, and then down and out to the Lincoln Woods Trailhead. All right, passing the intersection of West Bond Spur, continuing up to Bond. Alright, Bondcliff Trail to Bond. Still trucking. Kind of hit a little piece of the ridge here, I think. It's flattened out quite a bit. Mount Bond. Bondcliff in the distance. Hello again. Beautiful look at the Pemmy. What a great day. Nice breeze up here too. Mount Bond 360, looking out toward the presidentials, Washington in the distance. Coming around. Twins, Galehead, Garfield, Owl's Head in the foreground, Franconia Ridge in the back, and then of course in the very foreground is West Bond. And then Bondcliff, 1 mile away, my 48th. Very excited. Looking back south. And again to the north of Washington. Beautiful. I love this above tree line hiking. I talked about it in my last video, but definitely slows me down though. Very glad I brought my sunglasses on this hike. Both last night to West Bond and coming down here, the sun's right in my eyes. Real good look of West Bond here. There's a Halloween slide, and then all the way to the left is the V guitar slide. That Halloween slide all the way to the right there. That's the newest one, I believe. I feel so lucky to be able to be doing this. Be physically able to and mentally able to see these wonders of creation. It's awe-inspiring. I feel thankful and blessed every day that I am able to do this stuff. Now getting those famous views. Hands down at the camp last night, everyone's saying Bondcliff is their favorite peak. I said I have a feeling it's going to be mine. Not only because it's my 48th, but also because it's supposed to have some of the best views in this part of the world. The anticipation is building, as you can imagine, as I get closer to my finish. Waiting for this one since I started it, as soon as I found out about it. Getting so close now, I can almost taste it. All right, we are close. The breeze is heavenly. So is the foliage. All right, approaching the actual summit of Bondcliff. A lot of emotions right now. Very happy, feeling accomplished. But I know nothing's over because I'm completing the 48, but it feels like it is a little bit. I'll be back here over and over again, but I definitely am feeling a little melancholy about it too, a little bittersweet. Super excited to be here. So happy. There she is. There she is, number 48, Bondcliff. Walking out to the ledge at Bondcliff. Hell's Gate. I don't know if you can see the shadows are here, but quite a drop. Beautiful colors. I think we're past peak here now, but beautiful colors in the Pemigewasset. Looking down 360 from the summit of Bondcliff. Alright, one last look from the Bondcliff summit. Wow, it's just starting to sink in. It's done 48 mountains. 48 4,000 footers in 2 years, 3 months, and 4 days. Wow. I'll tell you, when I started, this felt like a daunting task. I didn't even want to really admit I was working towards the 48 because I didn't know if I was going to be able to finish. If I was going to have the, you know, the fortitude and whatnot to keep coming back out here and doing these. And now it's become a big part of my life. It is amazing that amazing how much it has transformed me. And I've been coming up to these White Mountains for a long time, and I never did any hikes up here. It was more of a partier then. I was hanging out at camp and didn't really want to go too far, except maybe a ride down the Kank. But wow, look at these views. But I'm a little disappointed now to know, like, all the years of missing out on this. Well, my body worked a little better. But what I'm told, except for one little scrambly part, for the most part, it is a pretty gradual descent and out. So now it's a lot of flat. But for some reason I thought it was going to be steep. But I said it was gradual, so I'll take it. God's country here. If you don't believe, hike the White Mountains. You'll believe after that. The Hillary Step. So, not crazy about doing these descents like this, especially if I didn't go up it before to get a handle on it, but let's give her a whirl. Alright, we gotta go backwards because our pack's gonna give us grief. Not so bad. Like I said, I just didn't do it on the way up, so can't really see where I'm going. Alright. The Hillary Step. Well, it's solid ground, and that's when I slept. And there she is. I'll have a better look from down here at that step. Descending on the Bondcliff Trail. So far, except for that little scrambly section with Hillary Step, it's been very gradual. Very gradual. So I'm about 8.5 miles, I believe, from the trailhead and the car. So as long as it remains like this for the most part, I should be able to make decent time. But I am in no rush. So I'm in the switchback section of the Bondcliff Trail, heading down. And descent has been nothing but gradual. Most of the trails felt flat. but I'm just slow and steady losing elevation, which is nice. This is some of the most aggressive down that I've seen, other than the scrambles. Continuing on the switchbacks. Looks like we got some rocks here. Oh, this must be a water crossing, but no water. Yep, I guarantee this is water. But such a severe drought that no water today. Another water crossing, Black Brook. Black Brook is dry. About non-existent water probably until the East Branch. Good thing I filled up at the tent site. Continuing on Bondcliff Trail. We are about 2,400 feet of elevation now, so we're just steadily going down, nice and gradual like this. Just a long drawn out trail, that's all. But it's nice, it's beautiful. A lot of leaves, so taking a little bit slower because these leaves and the rocks, they don't mix. They make me want to slip. But I'm enjoying being out here. Trail's a little quiet. Going down, obviously, I've passed maybe 5 or 6 groups going up the Bondcliff. I'm sure the closer I get to Lincoln Woods, this place is going to blow up. It's going to be packed. We actually got some water to cross, imagine that. Another crossing of the Black Brook. Alright. Good to see there's some water available though. I'm back on the trail. Alright, continuing down the Bondcliff Trail. A little ways to go on this. We're about 5 3/4 miles from the parking lot. And I think for the most part it's just going to be like this. It is beautiful, but it is hot. A little hotter than I'd like for October, but that's okay. Just stopped here, Black Brook, filter some water. I'm drinking a lot today, it's hot out. In the 80s, so I'm gonna make sure I have enough and then plenty for the ride home. So Still trucking down the Bondcliff trail, but we've made it to a section of trail where we parallel the east branch of the Guyot, so we're getting there. I think we've dropped just about all the elevation that is meaningful that we are going to drop. And it's a straight walk out from here. Still got about 5 miles, I guess. Just came across this old section of railroad track. Pretty cool. Back from the logging days. Alright, on Bondcliff Trail. I'm in the section that's lovingly referred to as the Death March. As you can see, flat, and it goes on forever as long as you can see. We are about 4 miles left. 1 mile to the wilderness in the junction with the Lincoln Woods Trail. And it's warm out. I would say, for reference, I'm looking at my watch and it says it is 90.5 degrees out. And I'm relatively in the shade. So, very glad I got that extra water. All right. Approaching the junction. Lincoln Woods and Lincoln Brook. So, Lincoln Woods. That includes the Bondcliff Trail. And I believe just ahead is the bridge to leave the wilderness. And yes, it is. Leaving the wilderness. The water. Alright. And then just like that section of Bondcliff, just flat and long. 3 miles to the suspension bridge. Alright, we're approaching the bridge. The site every long distance hiker coming out of Lincoln Woods longs to see. I'll say it's going to be a sight for sore eyes. Today I am hot and I am hungry. So on the other side of this bridge is our parking lot. And you can see it's a busy place this weekend. That's grass. service station is closed due to the federal government shutdown. At least they brought in these porta potties for people to use. The bathrooms themselves are locked too. And there's a truck. I bet it's gonna be 1,000 degrees in there today. We did it. All right, back to the truck. Ready to make the long drive back to the Cape. But happy to did it. We did it. Number 48. It took 2 years, 3 months, 4 days. We got it. Bondcliff was beautiful. What a great hike. Hot day. Ready to possibly get a burger or a sub and then head my way back to the Cape. All right, thank you for watching.